Right, it's 11 o'clock. Good morning, everybody. Could you just give me a little wave to so that you can hear me? This is our second late breakfast seminar. The first one was in December, and many of the people on this particular conference call were at the Odeon in Leeds when we listened to Peter Ridsdale.
Good morning, everybody, and thanks so much for joining Serene and myself on a conversation, really, which will be mainly him reflecting on his career, and in particular the lessons learned, not just for rugby, but for other sports and team sports, and also for businesses. So, Ian, first of all, Headingley to the Lions, including 32 tests and a great playing career for Scotland and for the Lions. And, you know, what are some of the key pointers that you'd like to share with the group this morning?
Well, good morning, everyone. And this is definitely a first for me as well. I'm delighted to be boring anybody about rugby and associated things. But yes, I mean, the journey, you know, I was fortunate to be able to move on to and develop was because of good people in the right places at the right time. And I think some of the lessons you learn coming through, and certainly had an impact on me, was that if the people are right, generally the processes and everything else follow. And there were various things as I came through as a player where I got a lot of support. I was a secondary modern pupil, should probably never have played rugby union, but happened to have an enthusiastic and passionate PE master who was a rugby union man. So the school played rugby union. Then got advice at 16 from a rugby league man to go to Headingley because it was the best rugby union club in Yorkshire. And we'd had a good school side, and 8 of us went down to Headingley to join the Colts and come through there. A year later, I was in the first team. But again, people went out of their way to support me. They used to pick me up from home. Family didn't have a car. We'd train on Sundays, and there would always be somebody there to be able to just make it possible. And when I first played first team rugby, I had experience inside and outside me, so that I could learn, as it were, on the pitch, on the job. And that mentoring and playing program certainly has influenced me much later in coaching, in trying to get anything I did coaching wise had to be trying implemented and realistic to be implemented on the training, on the playing field in the programs. And if I was getting a bit too cocky and things seemed a bit easy, then they'd give me a late ball and just remind me that rugby wasn't always as easy as it was at the start. But I can put a person's name to all the major events in my career as a player and a coach. And I think that advice, that direction, I'll always be thankful for. And I think that's what allowed me, you know, when I played for the Lions, Sid Miller was the coach. He spent time talking to me and actually getting to know me, the things I enjoyed doing, my ideas about rugby, and also put me in positions where I knew he was challenging me to compete against some of the best rugby players in the 70s, which I still believe some of the, you know, outstanding rugby union players of all time, and actually challenged me to be able to adapt and so on. So I didn't anticipate playing in a test team for the Lions, but he changed my expectations by the way he talked to me, by the way he trained, by the way he involved me, and just built up. So by week 9 of the Lions tour in '74, I was in the test team. But these were the days where Lions tours were 4 months long, 22, 26 games. So you had time to evolve. And that, I think, had the biggest impact on me, that he understood and drew out things that I never really anticipated being able to do in a way that acted with other players. And sometimes, and I always say it to players, some of the most talented players, if somebody in the group has done something really well, tell them. Because I played with Dick Milliken in the centre on that Lions tour. JPR Williams was at fullback. And after the second test, we'd won and 4-test series. As we were coming off the field, he just said to us, "I do enjoy playing behind you too, because I know exactly what's going to happen in front of me and where I can go."